G'day everyone and welcome back to Beyond the Outback. I'm Emily and I'm here with my Australian co-host Tom to explore what everyday life in Australia is really like. Today we're talking about something that basically defines Australia for most of the world, beaches. I mean, when people think of Australia, they picture these gorgeous stretches of sand, but also,
Yeah, exactly. Sharks and deadly everything.
right. So Tom, I have to ask, and this is probably what everyone listening is wondering, are Australian beaches really as wild and dangerous as the rest of the world thinks they are? Should I be genuinely terrified to set foot on one?
Oh, Emily, you've been watching too many movies. Look, beaches are absolutely massive part of Australian life. Like, I grew up 5 minutes from the beach, and most of my weekends were spent there. It's where we learn to swim, where families have barbecues, where we meet friends. It's really not this dangerous wilderness that Hollywood makes it out to be.
Right, okay. That's actually really reassuring to hear. I guess Hollywood has done quite a number on our perceptions.
Yeah, it's more like your local park, but bigger and with waves. Most Aussies have this really casual relationship with the beach. We don't think twice about popping down for a swim before work or grabbing fish and chips on the sand after school.
Wait, hold on. Before work? Now that's really intriguing. I mean, that sounds like such a dream lifestyle. But first, let me blow your mind with some numbers I came across. Tom, take a guess. How many beaches do you think Australia actually has?
Oh, geez, that's a good question. I mean, we've got a massive coastline, maybe a few thousand.
Try 10,000. Australia has around 10,000 beaches. If you visited a new beach every single day, it would take you over 27 years to see them all.
Bloody hell, really? That's mental. I mean, I knew we had heaps, but that's just incredible.
Right? It's absolutely mind-blowing. And you know what strikes me about Australian beaches compared to, say, California beaches where I've been, is how uncrowded they seem in all the photos I see. Like you see these massive stretches of sand with maybe 10 people on them total.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's one of the beautiful things about having so much coastline and a relatively small population. Most of our beaches are just empty. Even on a busy summer weekend, you can usually find a quiet spot. It's not like those packed European beaches where you're literally shoulder to shoulder with strangers.
That sounds absolutely amazing. I can't even imagine having that much space to yourself.
Plus, our beaches are generally pretty big, like wide stretches of sand. When the tide goes out, you've got heaps of room to throw a footy around or set up cricket stumps. It's brilliant.
That's brilliant. Okay, so now I'm curious about the famous ones that everyone always hears about. Everyone's heard of Bondi Beach, right? What's the real deal with Bondi? Is it actually as amazing as it looks in all those movies and travel shows?
Bondi's, look, it's beautiful, don't get me wrong. The crescent shape, the golden sand, the backdrop of the city, it's iconic for a reason. But it's also completely packed with tourists. And honestly, most locals avoid it unless they're showing visiting friends around.
Ha! Oh, wow, that's actually a perfect comparison. So it's beautiful, but basically a tourist trap?
Ha! That's actually a perfect comparison. It's worth seeing once, but if you want the real Australian beach experience, you'd go somewhere like Manly instead. Manly's got this awesome ferry ride from the city, great surf, and it feels more like where actual Sydney-siders hang out.
I see, that makes total sense. What about other cities then? I've heard about the Gold Coast. What's that like?
Surfers' paradise on the Gold Coast is like Bondi turned up to 11. More touristy, more high rise buildings, but absolutely brilliant for surfing. If you're learning to surf, the waves there are pretty forgiving. Then you've got Whitehaven Beach in the Whitsundays, which is just, it's probably the most stunning beach in the world. Pure white silica sand that's so fine it squeaks when you walk on it.
Wait, it squeaks? That's wild.
Yeah. It's this weird, almost musical sound. You have to experience it to believe it. And over in Perth, there's Cottesloe Beach, which is where all the locals go for sunset drinks. Beautiful clear water, great swimming. Then down in Victoria, you've got Bells Beach, which is legendary for surfing. That's where they hold major surf competitions.
Wow, those all sound incredible. But here's what I'm really curious about. If I'm visiting Australia and I want to experience where actual Australians go, not just the tourist hotspots, what should I be looking for?
Great question. Look for beaches with surf clubs. Those are the red and yellow buildings you see right on the sand. That's where the locals hang out. Check out beaches in residential areas rather than the city centre ones. And honestly, just ask a local. We love talking about our favourite beaches, and everyone's got their secret spot.
Perfect. That's really helpful advice. Now, this is what really fascinates me. Let's talk about beach culture. Tom, you mentioned surf clubs a few times now. Tell me more about those. What's the deal with surf clubs?
Oh, surf clubs are the heart of Australian beach culture. They're volunteer lifesavers, ordinary people who give up their weekends to keep beaches safe. You'll see them in those iconic red and yellow caps doing patrol. But they're also social clubs. Families join, kids learn to surf and swim competitively, adults train to become lifesavers, and everyone has a beer together afterward.
Oh, that's really cool. So it's like community service meets social club?
Exactly. And the red and yellow flags they put up, that's your safe swimming zone. You always swim between the flags because that's where the lifesavers are watching and the currents are safest. It's drilled into us from childhood.
That's such a smart system. I love how organized that is. What about the social side, though? Like when families just go for a regular beach day, what do they actually do?
Oh, everything. Beach barbecues are massive. Most beaches have free public barbecues, so families rock up with sausages, steaks, whatever. Kids are in and out of the water all day, maybe learning to bodyboard or surf. There's always someone playing beach cricket or footy. And fish and chips on the beach is like it's a religious experience for Australian kids.
Oh my gosh, fish and chips on the beach. That actually sounds like heaven.
It really is. You grab your hot chips from the local shop, find a spot on the sand, and just watch the waves while the seagulls try to steal your food. It's simple, but it's perfect. And for kids growing up here, learning to swim isn't optional. It's as basic as learning to walk. Most kids are doing swimming lessons by age 4 or 5.
That makes total sense when you're surrounded by water like that. Okay, so now I have to address the elephant in the room. Or should I say the shark in the water? Because honestly, everyone back home is terrified of Australian beaches because of sharks, jellyfish, rip currents. How real are these dangers actually?
Right, let's put this in perspective. Shark attacks are incredibly rare. Like, you're more likely to be struck by lightning. Australia has about 1 to 2 fatal shark attacks per year across the entire country. Compare that to the millions of people who swim safely every day. Most beaches have shark nets or drum lines, and there are helicopter patrols during busy periods.
Okay, wow, that's actually really reassuring when you put it in perspective like that. What about rip currents, though?
Rip currents are actually the real danger. They cause way more incidents than sharks, but they're totally manageable if you know what you're doing. That's why we swim between the flags, and if you do get caught in a rip, you don't panic and try to swim straight back to shore. You swim parallel to the beach until you escape the current, then swim back. It's taught in every school.
And jellyfish?
Well, up north you've got box jellyfish and irukandji, which are seriously dangerous, but that's only in certain areas during stinger season, roughly October to May. Most beaches put up stinger nets, and people wear stinger suits. Down south, where most people live, jellyfish are more of an annoyance than a danger.
I see. So it really sounds like it's all about education and following safety guidelines, not avoiding beaches altogether?
Absolutely. We grow up learning beach safety like Americans learn street safety. Don't swim alone, swim between the flags, learn to spot a rip current, check for any warnings or closures. Follow those rules and you'll be fine. Australians aren't fearless. We're just educated about the risks.
That makes so much sense, and it's actually really refreshing to hear. Now let's talk about the lifestyle side, because this is what really blows my mind about Australia. Tom, you mentioned swimming before work earlier. Is that actually a real thing people do regularly?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Especially in summer, lots of people get up early for a sunrise swim or surf before heading to the office. There are these groups called winter swimmers who swim year round, even in the middle of winter. And sunset walks on the beach are just, that's how we decompress after work instead of hitting the pub.
That sounds absolutely incredible. What other activities are really big at Australian beaches?
Surfing, obviously, but also bodyboarding, snorkeling, fishing from the rocks or off the beach. Beach volleyball, beach cricket, frisbee. Kids who spend hours just mucking around in the rock pools looking for crabs and sea anemones. And during summer, beaches become like outdoor living rooms. People meet there, have parties there, even dates there.
This is so different from growing up in the Midwest. Like, our idea of outdoor activities were cornfields and maybe a lake if you were really lucky. This sounds like a completely different way of life.
Ha, yeah, we're pretty spoiled. But it's interesting. It shapes how we think about relaxation and exercise. Like, why go to a gym when you can swim laps in the ocean? Why sit inside when you can read a book on the sand? The beach is our gym, our park, our social club, all rolled into one.
I love that perspective. All right, I'm just bubbling over with curiosity now. Let's do some rapid fire questions. I've got all these burning questions. You ready for this?
Fire away!
Do Australians actually surf before work, or is that just a movie thing?
Totally real. Dawn Patrol surfers are everywhere. Quick surf, rinse off, coffee, work.
Is Bondi actually the best beach in Australia?
Now, it's the most famous, but definitely not the best. That'd probably be Whitehaven or some hidden local spot.
Are sharks actually common to see?
I've been swimming Australian beaches for 30 years and never seen one. Most Aussies haven't either.
Do people really have Christmas barbecues on the beach?
Absolutely. Christmas Day beach barbecue is a tradition for heaps of families. Prawns, cricket, and sunshine.
Last question. What should someone's first Australian beach experience be?
Find a local beach with a surf club, grab fish and chips, swim between the flags, and just relax. Don't overthink it. Let the beach work its magic.
Ha! Those were brilliant rapid-fire answers, Tom. But actually, before we wrap up, I realized there are a few more things I'm really curious about that we haven't covered yet. First, I just realized we haven't talked about seasons at all, and that's probably pretty important. Tom, how do Australian beaches change throughout the year? I imagine it's quite different from our Northern Hemisphere experience.
Oh, brilliant question. So, our summer runs December to February. That's peak beach season. The water's warm, the days are long, and the beaches are at their busiest. School holidays coincide all with this. So, families are everywhere. It's surf competitions, beach festivals, lifeguard competitions, the whole shebang. But honestly, some of my favourite beach days are in autumn and spring when the crowds thin out, but the weather's still gorgeous.
That's fascinating. What about winter, though? Do people still go to the beach when it's actually cold?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Winter beach culture is actually quite special. The hardcore surfers never stop. They just throw on a wetsuit and keep going. And those winter swimmers I mentioned, they're out there every morning, rain or shine. Winter beaches are perfect for long walks, and the storms create these dramatic waves that are amazing to watch from the safety of the shore. Plus, fewer tourists means you get these pristine, almost private beaches. The sunsets in winter can be spectacular too.
That sounds absolutely lovely, and those winter sunsets must be spectacular. Now, let's get practical for a moment. For our listeners who might actually visit, what should someone pack for an Australian beach day? What's absolutely essential versus what's nice to have?
Right, essential stuff first. Sunscreen is absolutely critical. The UV here is brutal, and even on cloudy days you can get fried. SPF 30 minimum, but I'd go 50 plus. Hat, sunglasses, and a beach towel, obviously. Water bottle is crucial because you dehydrate quickly in the sun and salt air. 4 nice to haves: beach umbrella or pop-up tent for shade, a good book, maybe a frisbee or beach cricket set if you're feeling social. And if you're planning to swim, consider reef-safe sunscreen to protect the marine life.
That's really excellent advice, especially about the sunscreen. And what about beach etiquette? Are there unwritten rules that visitors should know about?
Oh yeah, definitely some unwritten rules. First, give people space. Don't plop your towel right next to someone when there's heaps of empty beach. Keep your music at a reasonable volume or use headphones. Don't leave your rubbish behind. Aussies are pretty serious about keeping beaches clean. If you're playing ball games, be aware of families with little kids nearby. And this is important. If you see someone in trouble in the water, don't just jump in to help unless you're a strong swimmer. Get the lifeguards or call for help. More people drown trying to rescue others than you'd think.
Wow, Tom, this has been absolutely fascinating and so enlightening. You've completely transformed my perception of Australian beaches. They sound beautiful, incredibly well organized, safe when you follow the rules, and just absolutely central to the Australian way of life. From learning about the incredible number of beaches to understanding the seasonal variations, from getting practical packing tips to learning the unwritten etiquette. I feel like our listeners now have everything they need to properly experience Australian beach culture. I honestly feel like I need to book a trip down under immediately.
That's exactly what I hope for. And honestly, if any of our listeners are thinking about visiting Australia, put beaches at the top of your list. They're not just pretty postcards, they're where real Australian life happens. Come experience it for yourself, follow the safety rules, and let the beach work its magic. You'll understand why they're such a huge part of who we are as Aussies.
Thanks for listening to Beyond the Outback. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, subscribe, and share with anyone who's curious about life down under. Until next time, we'll see you later.